start recording. And then go ahead and turn to page 37 in your grammar book. So Josh, if you could turn on your camera, that would be fantastic. Appreciate that. Okay, page 37, we're talking about something new. We're talking about an ly adverb opener, it's called, and it's a number 3. So in this program, both in the grammar and the writing binder that you have, you're going to be learning about openers. Now, we've already kind of started with dress up words, right? We barely started getting into that with like the ly adverbs. Now we're moving into, in the grammar part, these different openers. Now, all of this is designed to make your writing have more style, basically, because what tends to happen when you learn to write, everyone tends to just use the same words over and over and over again. And it's normal, but this program that I'm teaching you is trying to help break you away from that, to get your writing to actually have style. So the ly adverb opener is the first opener you're going to learn. There are 6 openers altogether, and this is number 3. And they started with number 3, and it'll make sense as we go through these, but this one's probably the easiest one, but it's not the most common one. So that's why they have it number 3, I guess. But ly adverb opener is a sentence that begins with an ly adverb. So that's easy. We know what those are. We've been talking about those in the writing part of class. When you see a sentence in this book, in the grammar book, that begins with an ly opener, you're going to label it with a 3 with a circle around it because it's the 3rd opener. And you're going to mark it above the first word of the sentence that starts with an ly adverb, like this. You put a 3 and then ly. So here's the example. Surprisingly, Robin approached the town. The next example, confidently, Robin approached the town. 2 totally different sentences. Most of the words are the same. The ly adverb changes, but they're both ly adverbs, so they both are considered ly adverb opener. Now, there's a comma rule that goes with these 2 types of ly openers, adverb openers. Okay, so a comma is used to separate items in a sentence. You already know that. A comma is used to separate an ly adverb opener from the rest of the sentence when the ly adverb modifies the sentence. Modifies is another word for change. If it changes the sentence, you need a comma. If it does not change the sentence, no comma. Okay, so here's your 2 comma rules. Use a comma if ly adverb opener modifies the sentence. Do not use a comma if the ly adverb opener modifies the verb only. Modifies means changing, like changing the meaning, right? So if it changes the meaning of the verb, do not use a comma. If it changes the meaning of the sentence as a whole, you do use a comma. Now, looking up at these 2, I'm going to have you just mark it. Okay, the first one has a comma because it does modify the sentence. So surprisingly, and I'm just going to have you do like a little bracket around this part of the sentence like that. And then I'm going to have you draw an arrow from surprisingly to that bracket. Surprisingly, Robin approached the town, sorry. So because it kind of modifies the whole sentence, the fact that Robin approached the town was surprising. Now on this one, I want you to draw an arrow from confidently to approached. And that is the verb. So we'll just label that one as the verb there. So it's telling how, go ahead and write that word how here. how he approached. So it's modifying the verb only, not the rest of the sentence. So this is when we use a comma. This is no comma. Oops. Use a comma if it's modifying the whole rest of the sentence, like this one. It changes the fact that Robin approached the town was surprising. You see how he figured that one out? And confidently just tells how he approached. Not confident, it doesn't tell Robin approached the town. It doesn't modify that part, only the verb approached, okay? So that's the two rules, the comma rules. There's another section down here that talks about numbers. You're gonna spell out numbers that can be expressed in 1 or 2 words, like 12 and 100. Use a hyphen with numbers from 21 to 99. So anytime you have anything between 21 and 99, you're going to use hyphens. Spell out ordinal numbers like first and second. If you have a date, though, you do use numbers, like numeral numbers for that. Like if the date was 1965, you would actually write out 1965. But any of these other rules, like if it's just one word number, like 5 or 10 or whatever, you spell out the word. Even 2 words, 100. But if it's 21 to 99, you're going to use a hyphen. Place a line through the incorrect number and write the correct word above it. So here's your example. Robin had 9 arrows in his quiver. The quiver is that piece of equipment they carry on their back. You've probably heard that before, where they hold the arrows. And then the word 9, it should be a word. They had it as a number. So that'll be in your grammar homework this week. You're going to draw 1 line through the number and then write it correctly above it. All right, any questions about the ly adverb opener or numbers or commas or anything on this page? If you don't have a question, just shake your head so I can see that. Okay. All right. Let's move on to the back of that page. This is page 38. A little bit more to talk about here. Page 38. It says, think about it. All right, here's just some things that you already know, but this is just putting it into words for you to be able to identify. According to the verb definition, there are 3 categories of verbs. Action, that's the one we all know. You learned that like in 3rd grade, probably. Action verbs tell action. Then there's linking verbs and helping verbs. So 3 different types of verbs: action, linking, helping. Every clause has an action verb or a linking verb. When a helping verb helps either an action verb or a linking verb, the 2 verbs together are called the verb phrase. Here is an example of action. That's the easiest one to identify. The action is Robin shot an arrow. So that verb shot is an action. In this sentence, shot is the action verb. Shot is the action that Robin is doing. Here's an example of a linking verb. Robin felt upset. In this sentence, felt is the linking verb. It's still a verb. Felt links the subject Robin to the adjective upset. So felt is still the verb, but it's called a linking verb because it's linking these 2 words together. Robin felt upset. Then there's the helping verb, and that one has an action with it. So helping and action go together. Robin had shot an arrow. In this sentence, had is helping the verb helping. The action, wait, hold on. In this sentence, had is a helping verb helping the action verb shot. Had shot is the verb phrase. So they go together, had shot. And then here's an example of helping and linking. Robin did feel upset. In this sentence, did is the helping verb. helping the linking verb feel. Did feel is the verb phrase. Okay, so there's different ways we can use verbs in our sentences. These are the examples, and it's just making you think about how that fits together. We'll be talking more about that as we go through this book. At the bottom, though, are some great lists for you. This is a good page if you have a post-it note to label it linking and helping verb lists. And then you could stick it on your page. And that way, when you're going through your homework, you can come back to this page to help you identify different types of linking verbs and helping verbs. I do want to point out that some words are the same in both lists. Basically, this top line right here, am, is, are, was, were, be, being, been. These are all the be verbs. They're the same in both linking and helping. So you have to pay attention to how it's used in the sentence to be able to identify, is it a linking verb or a helping verb? Regardless, it's a verb. So all of these are considered verbs. Okay, any questions so far? Shake your head if you don't. No, okay. Let's go on to our practice page here on 39. Does anybody feel like reading the sentences to us today? Any volunteers? All right, I won't pick on you today. I'll read it. I might pick on you in a minute though, so be prepared. Fearfully, Robin Hood escaped to Sherwood Forest. He was an outlaw on 2 accounts and could not return home. All right, accounts is our vocabulary. Basically, accounts means reasons, okay? So he's an outlaw. This is, back in the olden days during Robin Hood times. So an outlaw is just basically a criminal. You know the story, you're working on it. So he's wanted, right? He's wanted by the sheriff, and they don't like that he's broken the law, and they want to capture him. So accounts just means reasons. So go ahead and put a check mark by vocabulary because we know what that means. Articles, write them in a, an, the, not and, just an. And then go ahead and find it and label it. All right, now I'm going to call on you to help us figure this out. So I'm going to start with Thomas. What are the 4 nouns in these sentences?
Robin, no.
Yes.
Riverwood Forest.
Yeah. Sherwood Forest is a noun. I'm putting a bracket there because both of those together.
All right. Out home.
Actually, in this sentence, home is an adverb, and I'll explain that in a minute. Did you say outlaw?
Yeah.
Okay, that's one. There's 2 more.
Fearful.
Not fearfully, no.
Not fearfully.
I think you said this earlier. You started.
Yeah,
Robin Hood, actually.
Jumping around. Okay, which some of
And then there's this one here.
Oh,
it's actually accounts, yeah, because those are reasons.
All right.
Yeah, and one of the clues is if you can count the word, and you before it you have the number 2, so obviously you can count how many accounts. So that's a clue to know that it's a noun. Okay, so we got the 4 nouns. Pronouns, remember those are the words that take the place of a noun in a sentence. So Josh, do you see there's only 1 pronoun? Words like he, she, them, they, taking the place of a noun.
What is it? He?
Yes, it's he. So PR above he. Very good. Since that was super easy, I'm going to give you the next one too. What about the adjective? It looks like there's only 1 adjective here.
Is it escape?
No, it's actually, look at the noun accounts. And then if you ask yourself how many, what would the word be?
2.
2, exactly. So we got to fix this first though, because we just talked about numbers. We need to actually write the word. So just draw a line through 2 and write in TWO. And then yes, above that, we'll put ADJ for adjective. Excuse me. Good. Okay, so Silas, the next one on the list is adverbs. Those modify the verbs. So
Fearfully,
fearfully, yes, that's an easy one because it's an ly.
escaped,
That's actually a verb, not an adverb.
I do not know what else.
Okay.
would be in it.
I'm gonna have you do something else. That's good. I'm glad you're honest.
Would
It's
it be to, or like escape to?
No, let me help you with something. I'm gonna pause you there because it's gonna help you, and this is true for your homework too, when you go to do your homework. Find the verbs first. Let's just focus on the verbs, and then it'll be easier to find the adverbs. Okay, so let's back up a second, Silas, and look for, now I want you to just look for the verbs, which there are 1, 2, 3, 4 verbs here.
Escaped,
Yes,
returned,
yes.
down the bottom. How many were there?
There's 2 more, and they're gonna be helping and linking verbs. So it'll be like,
Was,
yes, was,
and
no, that's a conjunction. That's a
Correct.
coordinating conjunction. This other one is a helping.
is it
Verb.
not in the could not?
It's could actually.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, now that you have the verbs, that's good. Those were tricky with the helping and linking. And by the way, you can always go back and look back on that page that has the list. That'll help you too. Now that we know the verbs, the adverb modifies the verb. So if you look at return, and if you ask like how, or ask yourself, how is there a word before that that modifies the return, like how return?
Not,
Yes, there you go. Let's try to figure out how to word that, but yes, not return. Good. That's one of them. And then this one's tricky though.
is it to?
No, I'm going to ask you this. Could return where? Because that's another question you could ask for an
Home.
adverb. Yes, that is tricky because home could also be a noun, right? Because that's a place. But in this sentence, the way it's written, could not return home. So the home is could not return where is the home. So it makes it an adverb. That one's a little tricky. So I think you got them all right. 1, 2, 3.
Three,
Yes, you got it. Okay, cool. Good job, Silas. Okay, Joey, how about, do you remember coordinating conjunctions? Remember this one, fanboys? Go ahead and write that in. Fanboys, it's an acronym that stands for and, nor, but, or, yet, so. It's those little words that you connect phrases and parts of sentences together. So in light of that, do you see the coordinating conjunction here?
And.
Yes, good. CC. Check that. I'm going to have you do the next one, Joey, since that was kind of short. Prepositional phrases, and there's a list of prepositions if you need to check that at the back of your book that we go to.
To Sherwood Forest
To Sherwood Forest. Yes, it is.
and on to accounts.
Yes, awesome. Excellent job, Joey. Check that. Now we've got the verbs for this next part, subject verb pairs, but Thomas, looking at the verbs, help us find the subject. So if you're looking at the verb escape, who
So the
escaped?
most famous canyon.
Robin Hood.
Robin
The
Hood, so
Grand
that's the
Canyon.
subject.
Grand Canyon
Good.
is one of the largest canyons in
And
the
then it
world.
sounds like your mom's
It's about
teaching. in the
1
Yeah.
background.
mile deep.
Okay.
He,
It is 277 miles.
and that's it.
That's as a canyon.
Correct. You got it. Those are the two. Nice. Good job, Thomas. Now, let's see. Josh is next. Openers. We talked about a couple so far. Actually, I forgot we already talked about the subject opener, huh? So what kind of an opener is this, Josh? Fearfully.
Would it be a subject opener?
Actually, I kind of gave that away for the other one here, he, because that's the subject, but this one is an adverb.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's actually an adverb opener. So go ahead and that's the one we learned today. Go ahead and put 3 and then put ly adverb. And then this one after the period here, that one starts with a subject. So you're going to put 1. I'm going to have to squeeze it in the margin here and put the word subject. Can't really see that. It's hard with my marker. If you forget the numbers to the openers, there's a place at the front of your book where you can find that to help you with that. All right, moving on. Capitals. Go ahead, Josh, since that was a quick one for you. What words need to be capitalized?
Fearfully, Robin, and Hood.
Okay.
Sherwood Forest.
Good.
And
Got this period here after forest.
oh, okay. He.
Yeah, that's it. Good. All right. Period as the end mark here. I'll just give that to you. It says we need to fix a comma. So we either have to put one in or take one out. So what do you think, Silas, as far as the comma?
I think we should get rid of the comma after on 2 accounts.
I agree. Yes, that's it. So you're just going to do a little squiggly mark like that. And the reason is because he was an outlaw and he could not return home. So it's listing 2 different verbs basically. So whenever you have 2, no comma. If you have 3, then you have a comma between. So good. Okay. And then the number we already fixed, we crossed it out and put TWO. So we already got that one. So that's it. That's the end of that one. You can take your time writing that out later when you do your homework. Don't forget to include your fixing here with the capitals and end marks and all that. Anybody have any questions about this page? Nope. Okay. Awesome. Then if you don't have any questions, we're done with grammar. So you can put that away for a minute, put it aside. And get out your binder and your homework. All right. You guys are a pretty quiet group for me, so it's hard to get you to volunteer, but I like it when you volunteer. So I'd like to know if we could at least get one person to volunteer to read your version of the story, Disgusting or Delicacy, that you did for homework this week. Can I get somebody to volunteer to just read your writing? Nobody likes to share in this group. Some groups that I have, they all want to share, and it's like, okay, I can only do 2 or 3, but you guys don't really like talking. I don't know how to help you feel better about that. But I don't know what happened to Thomas. Joey, would you be willing to read yours, or do you not want to read it?
I suppose I can.
That would be nice. I don't want to put too much pressure on, but if I could put a little pressure, it would be cool. I would appreciate that. So if you have it, whenever you're ready, just go ahead and read it. Oh, and by the way, sorry, when you start reading it, Everybody else listen for the ly adverb. See if you can hear it. So go for it.
Some of the most common food is chicken or beef. Raw fish is normally sold in Japan malls and or North American airports. When people go to foreign countries, they notice their unusual foods. One of the foods you can get in China is fried black scorpion on a stick. In South Korea, you can get octopus so raw it's still moving on the plate. In Mexico, you might come across some escamales, which is fried ant larvae.
Perfect. Excellent, Joey. Oh, is there more?
There's more.
Oh, sorry.
In Thailand, you might come across some chocolate-covered silkworms, which is lizard food. So don't complain when you have to eat eggplant or Brussels sprouts. It's nothing compared to fried seahorse.
Nice. I love it, Joey. I am so glad you read that. I really, really like it. It was very well written. Did you guys, anybody hear ly adverb as he was reading it?
No.
Anybody else hear one? No, didn't catch it. Silas, did you catch it?
No.
What was your, I think you had a couple of them actually. What was one of your ly adverbs?
Normally.
Normally, there you go. And did you use surprisingly too? I thought I heard that one.
I did not.
Oh, it was my own brain. But normally, good. And did you underline normally on your paper?
Yes.
Good job, Joey. That's exactly what you need to do. So everybody else, that's what you should have done for your homework this week is write that paragraph and make sure you include an ly adverb. We talked about that last week. That's your first dress up. So when you include it in your writing, you need to underline it so I can spot it easily. And each time we add dress up words, that's what we'll be doing, okay? Good, Joey. Thank you. Thank you. I know I put you on the spot, but you did awesome. Now, we need to organize our binder again. So go ahead and get your binders ready. I'm going to share my screen so you know what to do. Last week, we got out several pages here. I want to start with this one. This was page 23. That should be at the front of your binder. We're going to put everything in its own spot now because we're done with this part of the binder. This page, this yellow page 23, goes right here where it says model charts and outlines. So find this tab here. It looks like this. Model charts and outlines. And go ahead and stick it behind. You should have this one there too already. It says making notes and outlines. That one's there. So you can put it right behind that one, behind that tab. Model charts and outlines. Once you stick that in there, don't forget to close your rings. You'll have a giant mess if you forget that. So please close your rings. And then everything else that you had from disgusting or delicacy is going to go behind this tab right here called finished compositions, because we're finished with disgusting or delicacy. So everything like this page here, page 17, which is the outline page, your keyword outline that you made, your paragraph that you made, your checklist, the original story, all of that that goes with disgusting or delicacy can go behind the finished compositions behind that. So turn that page over and stick it back there. You'll also see back there the blue-ringed octopus. So put it after, behind all the stuff that you have in here, okay? So behind blue-ringed octopus and behind Yeah, I guess that's all you have so far. So stick it behind blue ringed octopus. Right back here. Okay. Close up your rings after that. Make sure you close them, please. And then we're going to get out some new pages. Oh, by the way, page 21. That one is the dress up page. Let me show you what it looks like. That one, I want you for now, I want you to keep it at the front of your binder still. That's the dress up page. Hold on, show you what it looks like. This one. The stylistic techniques page, go ahead and keep that at the front of your binder still, because we're gonna keep working on that one. But then everything else gets put away. Close your rings. Give me a thumbs up if you're done putting stuff away. All right. Okay. Now I want you to go to, lost my paper clip. How does it disappear like that, huh? Go to source text tab. It looks like this. We're going to get out the next part that you're going to work on. So the source text tab is here. So you're going to flip behind that. And you should see there. Not this one, not Biker Ballerina. Hold on a second. You're going to get out pages 27 to 35. 27 to 35. I'll show you what it looks like here. 27 looks like this. Says week 3, eagle and the jackdaw. Kimono dragon, that's 27. You're going to get out page 29 all the way through 35. I'll show you what 29 looks like. If I can find mine. There for a second. Huh, I'm missing one of my pages. Hopefully you have yours. It's not gonna be there. Sorry guys, hold on a second. I don't know why it's not in here. Oh, I know why. I'm using it somewhere else. Sorry guys, I'm missing a page. Ah, I'm missing page 29. Hopefully you don't have that problem. It's kind of a love-hate relationship with these binders. I'm just saying, because, you know, wonderful and horrible all at the same time. Nope, I don't have it. So I am missing that page. Let me show you from my teacher book what it looks like on page 29. Oh, now I know what it is. It should look like this. It says letter to the editor. Is that what you guys have for page 29? Okay. So the letter to the editor, I found it. I stuck it in the very back. That's where it's going to go eventually, but for now, let me show you again. These are the pages you need out from your binder. This first one, page 27. Then this is page 29. It looks like a letter, says Dear Editor. That one. And page 31 that says the eagle and the jackdaw. And page 33 that says kimono dragon. And page 35, this is the checklist. So you should have 5 pages out. Give me a thumbs up if you got all 5 pages. Close up your rings when you get them out. Good job. Yay. I'm glad you guys are better organized than me right now. I think I got it though. Okay, that was there, and this was here. And I found my paper clip. All is well. Okay. This page we don't really need. It's just I like you to keep it with your stuff. By the way, just a quick reminder, whatever we take out is what we're working on for the week. So you don't need to put it back where it goes. You're going to keep it at the front of your binder. That's where I like you to keep it, either in the pocket in the front or in the rings in the very, very, very front. So all these pages that you just got out is for the week. So keep it up front. The next thing I'm going to talk to you about is this page, 29. Now, professional writers, as you know, have editors. If they're writing a book, if they're writing an article, even if they're writing a script or a movie, they have editors that they hire. Now, I want you to hire an editor. Before you freak out about the money, I don't expect you to pay, but your editor is going to be a parent or whoever does your homeschool teaching. And you are going to pay in the sense of you're going to reimburse them for their time. And in this letter, you don't have to read it right now. This is for your parent. You're going to offer to do something for them in as a payment for them helping edit your writing from now on. And when I'm talking about editing, I'm talking about like when you're done with your paragraph. For instance, the one that you just did for disgusting and delicacy. Once you're finished with it, you read it to yourself, you like it, you feel good about it, it's the way you want it, then you hand it to your editor. And this explains to your editor what I want your editor to do to check your writing. If you have a bunch of spelling errors, don't worry about it. I don't expect your editor to fix all of them. Now, in real life, they would, right? You wouldn't want to publish something that has errors in it. But in this context with this class, I just want them to point out a few things that you need to fix if there's anything. So really quick, I just want you to write your name up here next to writer's name. Go ahead and put your name here. Thomas, did you have a question or something to say? Okay. Go ahead and put your name here. After class, you're going to hand your parent, whoever you're choosing to be your editor. It could be your dad, your mom, your grandma, aunt, uncle, some adult near you to be your editor. Hand this to them. You'll see there's a couple of ideas on, how you can repay them for their time. All right, so that's that. Set it aside for now, but after class, I want you to hand it to your editor. Okay, the next thing we're going to look at is the eagle and the jackdaw right here. The eagle and the jackdaw. And what we're going to do is read this. It's attributed to Aesop. It's another fable. Aesop's fables, remember, are this collection of short stories that usually have animals, and they are humanistic personalities in the animals. They're either talking or they have a scenario. And then we always learn a lesson from it. So those are the Aesop fables you can learn a lesson from. That's what this is. And we're going to talk about that. There's going to be maybe some new vocabulary words in here like jackdaw. A jackdaw is a type of crow with gray and black feathers. So this right here, you can't really see gray in this copy. It looks all black, but we all know crows because in California, they're everywhere. Crows are annoying, right? They get in our trash. They're just loud. Anyway, especially if you're in the mountains where I'm at, they're everywhere. So a jackdaw is like a crow. It's in the crow family. You'll see here the word lofty as we're reading. So lofty means very high. A talon is a sharp hooked claw of a bird of prey. So that's kind of like their nails that come out on their feet. So those are called talons. You probably already knew that. A prowess is an unusual skill or ability. So a prowess is an unusual skill or ability. Stir in this sense as a verb is actually causing strong emotions. Envy, you probably know that one. Envy is like jealousy or a resentful longing for what someone else possesses. That's envy. It's a longing to have what somebody else has. Emulate is another word we're going to come across. Emulate means to imitate the qualities of a admired person. So if you see like a movie star or athlete or some famous person and you like certain qualities about them, you try to emulate that. You try to be like them. A ram is a male sheep. You probably already know that. They have the horns that are curled like that. That's a male. Females don't have those horns. And entangled is just twisted up and caught. So those are some of the vocabulary words you'll come across in this story. So next we're gonna read it and then talk about it a little bit and then make an outline like you've been practicing. This is the last unit where you're actually gonna do word for word. We're gonna branch away from that coming up. So it's good practice for us here. I don't need that yet. So the eagle and the jackdaw, I'm going to read it, and then we're going to set up a keyword outline. A large eagle flew down from his lofty perch, seized upon a small lamb, and carried him aloft with powerful wings and talons. A jackdaw observed the eagle's prowess and was stirred with envy. He wanted to emulate the strength and skill of the eagle. Therefore, he flew around with a great whir of his wings and settled upon a large ram, intending to carry him off. But his claws became entangled in the ram's fleece, and he was not able to release himself through the flap, though he flapped his feathers as much as he could. The shepherd, seeing what happened, ran up and caught him. He at once clipped the bird's wings and took him home that night as a gift for his children. They said to him, "Father, what kind of bird is this?" He replied, "I am certain he is a crow."
Wait, he clipped his wings.
I'll talk about that in a second. Hold on a second. I am certain he is a crow, but he would like you to think he is an eagle. All right, so Thomas, good point. There's a couple of weird things about this. Clipped his wings. Now, I actually am a farmer. I don't know if you guys know that, but I have a farm. I've got cows, horses, goats, and chickens. And in the chicken world, it is possible to clip their wings, and that just means the feathers. It does not hurt them one bit. But when you open a chicken's wings or any kind of a bird, there's a layer of there's a layer of feathers that cause the bird to fly. So for a chicken, they don't really fly like this guy would, but they can flap enough to get over the fence and then get out. I'm in the mountains, so if they get out of the fence, then they're going to be eaten by a predator. So in order to keep them safe, we trim the feathers. So no, they don't cut the wings. That's what it sounds like, because that would be cruel. But feathers don't have any nerve endings in them or blood vessels, so it's like cutting hair. They don't.
Well, they made it immobile.
Made it immobile, exactly, because a crow or a jackdaw would not stay in the yard, right? Because they just fly, but he clipped their wings, or this guy's wings, so that it would stay in the backyard so the kids could have it as a pet.
$10 the
Weird.
children kill him within 10 days.
Who knows? I mean, maybe they brought him inside the house. I mean, that's a possibility.
Yeah, I know. He's gonna get killed one way or another. He's not gonna die by old age. He's probably gonna either by stepped on, something falling on him.
Or
like
if there's a
starvation.
cat in the house, the cat won't want a bird in the house, or a dog, actually. So there's that. It's true, but it doesn't go that far in this story. So we can stop before we get into the brutal, gruesome gore, right? Let's keep it reined into this story. So basically, it's also strange that this farmer or shepherd actually took it home as a gift. Now, I just think that would be weird if I was a kid and my dad came home with this bird, this crow or jackdaw or whatever, and said, "Hey, kids, here, I brought you home a little gift." That would be weird. But okay, in this story, aside from the weird stuff, there's a couple weird things, but aside from that, what is the lesson we can learn from this story? What can we learn?
The crow will die.
Oh, Thomas, get over the crow dying. We're not talking about that. No, the lesson. What is the lesson we can learn? Remember, the crow or the jackdaw, let's call him a jackdaw. He was jealous of the eagle, right?
Don't try to grab sheep.
Okay, possibly. But remember, he wanted to be like the eagle. He was envious, right? And so he tried to act like the eagle, and he got himself in trouble. Basically, he was tangled up in I can imagine it being like flap, 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 and it can't get away. And poor Ram is probably like running around going, "Get this thing off my back," But he got himself in trouble trying to be like somebody else. And so he couldn't be like the eagle. But so we can learn that, envy, jealousy, those things we all have to be careful of, because we could get ourselves in a bind if we live by that. So that's a lesson we can learn from it. And then, of course, the father says to them, he wants to be a crow, or an eagle. He saw that in the bird, that he wanted to be an eagle, but he just can't be an eagle. All right, so that's what we learned. Go ahead and get out a clean lined piece of paper, fresh one. We're gonna set up a keyword outline for this one. And you know how to label your paper now, so go ahead and do that. Name here, date here. Today is the 28th. Go ahead and label this one the name of the story, which is the eagle and the jackdaw. Just a quick little reminder about titles. You capitalize the first word of a title always. It doesn't matter what the word is, it's always going to be a capital. And then after that, you capitalize the keywords in the title. So notice and the are not capitalized. Those are not keywords. Just a little tip on how to capitalize a title. Underneath that, I'm going to have you write KWO. Who remembers what KWO means? What does that stand for?
Keyword outline.
Thank you. Good. Thank you, Joey. Keyword outline. So we'll just abbreviate it from now on because we don't need to write it out every time. Okay. Keyword outline. The rules still apply. In this outline, you are going to have a Roman numeral 1. Let's go ahead and skip a line. Roman numeral 1, that's your topic sentence. That's the very first sentence. And then you're going to number 1 to 8. Notice I indent a little bit. This is how you set up an outline. We've done this a few times now, so you should know. Okay. Now, in this story, there are actually 9 sentences. So counting the Roman numeral plus 8 more makes 9. So you're going to do the same thing you've been working on. Take sentence by sentence and choose 3 key words. Now, the rules still apply. You can use numbers, abbreviations, and symbols for free. And that is what you can use throughout your outline if that helps you. Now, I have a recommendation. I want you to circle the E in eagle and circle the J in jackdaw. As you go through your outline, you can use an E with a circle to represent eagle. That frees you up for an extra word on that line. That's considered a symbol. And a J for jackdaw. So depending on who you're talking about in each of these sentences, use the symbol E with a circle or J with a circle as a symbol, so you don't have to waste a word on eagle and jackdaw. Does that make sense to you guys? Okay, find those key words. You can use symbols like arrows. You can use a little bird symbol for flying. You know, remember when you were little? I'm just going to draw it down here. Remember how you used to draw flying birds in the air like that? That can be a symbol if you wanted to use that in your outline, but keep it to 3 actual words only. And since you've done this a few times, I'm just going to have you only finish this outline, and then we're going to work with it next week. But since we read that, each sentence, go ahead and fill in your outline. And then the other part of your homework is your 3 grammar pages. So the 3 grammar pages and finishing this outline, and that's it for your homework this week. Any questions? Yes, Josh.
Do we still have to have our parents sign it?
Not this time, because we're going to actually use it next week to write about it. So no, I'm not going to have you sign it this time or have your parents sign it. You can still practice telling them the story if you want. That's up to you guys, but it's not part of the assignment. Good question. Any other questions about anything? Nope.
What's your favorite ice cream flavor?
Oh, I love that question. Thank you. I would have to say, if it's Ben & Jerry's, because it kind of depends on the brand for me. I like the Tonight Dough. Have you guys had that one with Jimmy Fallon? It's got a picture of his
I've
face on
seen
it.
it.
Yeah.
I've seen it in like a shelf.
So the Tonight Dough has like brownies. It has fudge in it. I'm a chocolate girl. I'm just going to tell you that straight up. Chocolate's where it's at for me. So fudge, brownie. There's like a peanut butter cookie dough, and then there's chocolate chip cookie.
I wonder if they have sour ice cream.
That would be like a
Probably.
called gelato. Isn't that a gelato or like a sherbet, something like that?
Oh yeah, they probably couldn't make sure or not like but I had a stroke. They probably couldn't make sour ice cream because it's like acid, and acid would not work well with a dairy product. It would instantly like curd up.
Curdle. Yeah, good point. That's true. I mean, sherbet is kind of, it can be sour, but yeah, unless it has like sour gummy worms. I remember when my daughter was little.
Sour gummy worms.
Yeah,
Those aren't
she's-
sour. You gotta add up some warheads in those things and some
Oh,
toxic
God.
waste.
Yeah, warheads would do it.
Don't forget about toxic.
That was a great question. Thank you, Silas. Yeah, that I would have to say that's my favorite. And I could probably eat that whole little container in one sitting. I love ice cream. So, but if the other one of my favorites, though, I don't know if you guys would agree, but if it's summer and it's super hot, I like mint chocolate chip. It's very refreshing to me.
I agree.
That is one of my favorites as
Good.
well.
Okay, sweet. Definitely when it's hot though, it's like really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not a fruity ice cream though. My husband is. He likes strawberry ice cream, banana, and blah blah.
Ew.
I know. Ew, that's what I say. Where's the chocolate? Come on.
No.
All right, you guys. Well, time's up. So you have a great week and I'll see
All
you
right.
next time.